It's your boy Grape Juice back with another word from the vine, and we're continuing our discussion here, dissecting truth. All right, so I hope that you will take the time to consider this video because now we're about to dive into what the difference is between objective and subjective truth. Is there a difference? If so, what is, right? And so I'm here to let you know right off the bat that there is a difference between objective and subjective truth. Right. And these are some verbs, some words, some vocabulary that we'll use in different ways, different terminologies. Right. When we think of objective, we think of a goal sometimes, or when we're thinking of a subjective, we might be thinking of some English writing, right, where we're trying to dissect the sentence and what's the subjective verb, subjective pronoun, or whatever the case may be. But these two words that we're talking about in regards to truth are a little bit different than that. All right. So I want to start with objective. All right. So objective truth is something that is based on an idea of unbiases. OK, so this is a understanding of something. Right. Just the word objective. Won't even focus on truth for a second. Just objective. All right. So objective is an unbiased. OK, it's an unbiased viewpoint. We are basing our decisions on the facts. OK, so this isn't anything that has to do with personal feelings, personal vendettas. This is just us looking at what's presented, grabbing the facts that are available and making the conclusion, removing our feelings. Hey, this is what it is, right? We have the facts. We have the evidence. We are basing our viewpoint from an unbiased factual standpoint. OK, so that's objective. Subjective, however, is the opposite. All right. So a subjective claim, a subjective viewpoint is a viewpoint that is more based on your personal biases, based on opinions. It's very opinionated and something that isn't necessarily requiring or asking of facts. Right. We're just going off how we feel. All right. To give you an example of an objective and a subjective claim. Right. An objective claim would be, it's hot out here, right? Let's think of the summertime. It's really hot. OK, yeah, it's hot, right? The degree, we have the facts to back it up. The degree on the weather app says it's 100 degrees. You can go outside and it's all over you. You're sweating in a matter of 2 minutes. Yeah, that's a fact. OK, but a subjective claim to that would be I hate hot weather. I hate the warm. I hate the warmth. I hate 100-degree weathers or 100-degree weather days. OK, that's a subjective claim because that's more on although there might be some fact to it, right, in terms of the hotness of the day. It's more of a subjective feeling because that's just how you feel about it. Right. You just telling people how you feel about it. All right. So when we're talking about truth, understanding the difference between objective and subjective, the words and the meanings. What did we say in the last video that we made towards this, right? We made the understanding that truth is exclusive. OK, truth is absolute, narrow and exclusive. So for truth to be exclusive, right, this also must mean that truth is objective. Why are we matching truth and objectivity together? Because as we just listed off on the definition or of the understanding of objective, it's unbiased, right? So there's no personal feelings that are involved in the decision or in the viewpoint that is being made. Truth doesn't make room for your feelings. OK, what this means is that when you're coming to understand the truth about something, when you're desiring for somebody to tell you the truth about something, you have to be willing to take it. Right. And not allow your feelings to drive your response to how you feel towards the truth, rolling up on your front door and bringing the smoke to you. So when comparing objective to truth, right, and understanding that for truth to be objective and truth is exclusive. OK, we are also of the understanding that because of those characteristics, we see truth not being affected by our feelings. So we can be upset about an outcome, about a situation, about something that didn't go our way, a job that we didn't get, a relationship that failed, something along those lines. But if we are going to acknowledge truth for what it is, our feelings about it won't change the truth. So that's why we are labeling truth and objectivity to go hand in hand. OK, because this is something that is backed up by evidence, right? proven, factual, right? And our feelings aren't in the way of getting to this truth. Okay. Again, how do we find truth? Logic, science, and reality. Okay. So reasoning, evidence or knowledge, and reality, right? Something that we can see. It's evident. It's seen. It's picture perfect. Okay. So now that we're getting a better understanding of this difference between objective and subjective truth. All right. Now here comes the question in regards to those of you who may feel, I'm not really with you on that because truth to me is subjective. Okay, let me throw this question to you and see if we can get some wheels turning. If truth is really subjective, okay, let's just say that truth is subjective. How are we able to determine right from wrong? Right? How are we able to make a decision based on an idea of that is right or that is wrong? Because if we're living in a subjective truth society, then it doesn't matter what is right or wrong. I'm just going to do what I feel is necessary, right? I'm just going to do whatever it is. And even if it's wrong to you, it's right to me. Well, there's a conflict. There's some tension there that we have to come to some kind of understanding on, right? If a criminal, a criminal might tell you that, yeah, it's right to kill people. But you're looking like, well, no, there's no right understanding of this idea that it's okay to kill people. I don't know where you got that from, right? But then he's going to say it and respond to you, oh, well, that's my truth. So, it's my truth. I can do what I want with it. Well, no. We have to address this because there's nothing right about killing people like that. There's nothing right about that, right? You couldn't be able to tell somebody that they're wrong if you have no viewpoint of what's right. But if we're in a subjective truth society, then we can't possibly come to a conclusion of what is right to tell somebody else what is wrong. So if we are really going off of a subjective truth idea, then there's no way we can decipher right and wrong, right? Right ways of thinking, right attitudes, right behaviors, all of these kinds of things. We can't decipher that. Okay, so wrestle with that. That's the purpose of me bringing that to you in this video. Wrestle with that, because if you're somebody who is thinking subjective truth is the way to go, then I don't think there's a strong conclusion that you can bring to understand how we can arrive at something being right or something else being wrong. Okay, so remember, when we're talking about truth, not everybody can be right. Why? Because it's exclusive. And this is the part where a lot of us may feel a little bit of eruption coming along, tomatoes being ready to throw, right? Because, well, it's what I feel. Why can't you just appreciate what I feel and appreciate what I want when truth doesn't even take that into consideration? Truth doesn't even take into consideration your feelings. It's going to give to you what it is, whether you like it or you don't, whether you appreciate it or you don't, whether you acknowledge it or you don't. Truth doesn't go anywhere. Okay, so let me give you a couple examples of objective truth statements and subjective truth statements, one from different categories, and the last one might kind of ruffle some feathers a little bit, but that's fine because this is the point I'm looking to drive home in this. So Matt, we have two truths, right, that we can kind of rattle off the bat. Okay, we have mathematical truths and we have scientific truths. Okay, or scientific truths. Okay, so a mathematical truth, an objective statement of a mathematical truth would say, hey, 2 + 2 is 4. Okay, 2 + 2 = 4. That's objective. Okay, again, as we said in the last video, every language alive, no matter how you translate it, is going to read 2 + 2 = 4. But a subjective truth statement to this mathematical equation would say 2 + 2 is 5. I just believe today 2 + 2 = 5. Okay. Well, we have an objective truth and we have a subjective truth claim in that statement. Okay, the objective truth being, okay, well, yeah, obviously 2 + 2 is 4. That's mathematical. We can put those pieces together. But a subjective truth, again, it's based on an opinion. I just feel like it, like 2 + 2 = 5. Well, you're going to look at your classmate and be like, man, what did they teach you in second, first, and kindergarten? Like, what did they do? What did you learn? Right? Those are the kind of questions that will pop up in your mind thinking, okay, somebody is high on something to say 2 + 2 is 5. All right, let me give you another example. Here's a scientific truth. All right. The objective truth would say the sky is blue, right? It's daytime where you are. You look up, sky is blue. right? The sky is blue. But then you say a subjective truth. No, I feel the sky is red. Well, you're going to look around and you're going to be like, well, I don't know what you talking about, Chief. I see blue. I don't know what you talking about this red idea from, but I see blue. Okay. So again, we have an objective truth that's based on factual evidence. And then we have a subjective truth that's based on feeling. All right. Now here comes the third one. Now we've seen scientific and we've seen mathematical. So if we can get a truth in science and we can get a truth in numbers, in mathematics, like though there are objective truths there, then does it not make sense to have a truth when it comes to religion? Okay. Now consider this. All right. Whoever you might be watching this, wherever you are, just consider this third one. Okay. An objective truth would claim Christianity is true, but a subjective truth would say something along the lines of, an objective truth would say something along the lines of Christianity is true. Subjective truth would say something along the lines of all religions are true. Okay, so we have an objective truth that's trying to label a faith as this is the truth. Indisputable fact, this is what it is. But then you have subjective truth where somebody is trying to fit all religions and say that all religions are true. Now, let me ask you this. If we're looking at the evidence to back up this idea that all religions are true, we're going to fall short so much. Why do we say that? Because when we're talking about the evidence being pulled out, we have all kinds of religions that have different writings, different doctrines, right? Different scriptures, right? Different gods. Okay. Some religions with many gods. Okay. And then we have different cultural responses to these ideas. Okay. So those are just a few reasons why, if we're really looking at all religions to be the same and all religions to be true, then how do we explain the different doctrines, the different scriptural writings, right? The different ways of living, all those kinds of things that we have to understand that if it were all to be the same, wouldn't we all revere the same person, the same doctrine, the same writing, right? Because from the Christian worldview, all these other religions that are out here don't reflect nor revere Jesus as who he is. Same with other religions looking at Christianity. Christianity doesn't revere a lot of what all the other religions revere. So there's a lot of contradiction taking place that causes us to be stumped a little bit and think, okay, well, if there's a truth in one thing and there's a truth in something else, there's also has to be a truth here. And so this is where a lot of people get ready to throw some rotten tomatoes, right, everywhere, because now we're getting into a place of faith, a place of belief systems, and a place of things like that that affect and impact your worldview and your daily life. So I bring this to you all to simply say this. Before we go to the next video, I need you to understand that when it comes to searching truth, all right, no matter how much evidence and facts that are presented for truth to be what it is and what it's being claimed to be, who it's being claimed to be, understand that it also has to deal with what you want to believe. OK, so hear me when I say this. It's not saying that because you want it to be true means it's true. That's not what I'm saying. But when it comes to acknowledging truth for what and who it is, you have to make the decision to want to believe the truth. If you don't want to believe the truth that is in front of you, then there's no way, no matter how much evidence is proven and placed in front of you, for you to come to the conclusion that this is truth. It's something that not only is based on facts and not only is based on evidence, logic, science, and reality, but it's something that you have to want to believe for you. OK, this is something that you have to make a decision on, and you have to say, I believe that. So if you choose to not believe that, well, there's nothing no one else can do for you. And in fact, there's no more scientific evidence or no kind of evidence that you're going to be willing to acknowledge or consider to kind of bring you to the opposition or bring you to the place where you're saying this is truth. OK, so think on these things. And in the next video, we're going to look at the truth about you and me. Okay. We're going to look at the truth about you and me and what does that look like. Okay. So I appreciate you for tuning in and checking in with your boy on this video. Thank you for considering this if you stuck all the way through. And I hope to see you in the next video. And as always, take these grapes with you. And until then, peace.